Call to order the St. Cloud Metropolitan Transit Commission Board, Tuesday, June 18, 4 o'clock. The record shows that everyone is here, with the exception of Sartell. And so we will first entertain a motion. Changes to the agenda?
No changes.
Okay, no changes. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that prevails. A consent agenda, items 5 through 8.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries. We'll now then revert to the open forum. Kurt, I don't see. Oh, there's Kurt. So Kurt, here, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, come up right here and
Where would you like me to-
stand in one leg.
Where would you like me to-
Right there.
You're fine, wherever you are. I'm just messing with you.
I'll go over here.
You might want to not have your back to the audience. There you
Yeah,
go.
so, okay. So my name's Kurt Frank, and I live at 1700 Polaris Court, St. Cloud, by North Junior High School, Whitney Park area. Director Daniels, Secretary Liebert, Mayor Hunstinger, Mayor Miller, and Mayor Kleiss. I'd just like to take, and audience members, I'd just like to take a few minutes of your time today to relate to you experience I had in the last couple weeks here with Metro Transit. It's been a pretty interesting journey, and I'd just like to share it with you tonight, this afternoon. It started with an encounter 11 days ago with the number 3 bus driver, and it wasn't the greatest encounter, but that was the low point of the experience, and it got steadily better from there. And the encounter with the driver, I would say, is not the most important thing. What happened afterward is. And I stopped, had kind of a complaint, and I stopped down at the Metro Transit Center to lodge that complaint and concern. And I met Mo, I believe her name is, and she did a great job of listening to me, hearing me out, and seemed to be, whether she was or not, seemed genuinely concerned about what I had to say, and took down the information and assured me about the process that you have in place. That seems simple enough, but the first point of contact, that person slides the window back and talks to you. That's a really important job, and she did really great at it. Later that day, I sent Director Daniel a quick email, and I received an equally quick response from him saying, we're looking into it. What more could I ask? A few days went by over the weekend when I received a phone. I saw my phone, a phone message from a supervisor named Mike. I wasn't like super thrilled with the message, but was really happy that they called. And he said at the end, no return call needed. And I thought, well, I'm going to follow up on this some way. And here I am today, I guess. So a couple more days went by, and that's when things got really good for me. Last Tuesday, I was riding my bike on the way to Manea's Meats in Sauk Rapids, and I noticed a maroon van. I recognized it as the Metro Transit supervisor van go by me, and he pulled over on the side of the road, like a block up, and the door opened, and the driver got out, and he waved at me, and he said, "Are you Kurt?" And I said, you know, kind of scary. I said, "Yes, I am." And I said, "Are you Mike?" The supervisor with the phone message. And so there on the side of the road, we got to kind of have like a real decent human conversation about my concern. And if I thought Mo was concerned about what I had to say, a guy waving you down on the side of the road really get your attention. So that was pretty great. So, and I'm almost done, I guess, here. But that was fantastic, that response, that concern. In closing, I guess I would just say, I know it's not fair to judge any individual on their best day or their worst day at work. In the same way, it wouldn't be fair to judge an organization like Metro Bus on their best employees or their worst. And I would say personally, as an employee for my life, I probably was 24 hours the best and the worst employee at my job at any one time. It would be nice, but to have really great employees, but I mean, how many Todd Deserts or Bob Regelmans are there out there for us to hire? So they are the best. And but I was willing to not judge that performance that day by that one driver, but the response I received from Metro Transit was really great, and I'd just like to thank you for that today. So thank you for the bus system, the service, and for the great employees.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. Very nice. Appreciate that feedback. That's rare, so that's good. Rare that we get feedback at the meeting, not that it's good and positive.
Yeah, straighten that out.
Appreciate, yeah, that's right. And we, I guess in Stock Rapids, they keep track of everybody, that's why.
Absolutely. I knew you were there.
Part of their drone system. Or
You don't think Big Brother's watching.
Just heard you when you were in town. No, that's good. I'm glad you had that experience. Any other information or folks who want to speak? Okay, seeing no one, we'll move on to general business. Recognition of our DAR operator, Todd. Big trophy.
Commissioners,
Just keep getting the.
trophies and awards.
Yeah, that's good.
So Todd Zurich participated in the 30th Annual CTAA, Community Transportation Association of America, Body-on Chassis Rodeo. He competed with 76 other operators from all throughout the United States, to include Canada and Hawaii and Puerto Rico, and Todd's final score was 831 points. He just beat the second place person by 4 points.
Wow.
Person from Seattle, Pierce Transit in Lakewood, Washington, that operator had 827 points. So as a result, Todd is the 2019 North America's Bus Operator of the Year, and Metrobus is happy to have him.
Oh, wow.
So on behalf of the board and Metrobus, Todd, come get your trophy.
Yeah, that's really cool.
He's been sitting here for 30 minutes. You get to bring it home now. But you gotta take a picture first.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
Get a picture with us, lower the value of your trophy.
No kid.
I think I was told we can Photoshop everybody and make us all.
Yeah, you
younger.
can. Congratulations.
Thank you, John.
Congratulations
Thank you.
again.
Good to see you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
I think you had enough time, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll squeeze in here.
Get the whole team in here. Yeah. Actually, Bertie, you should stand next to Tom, because you're his direct supervisor. I'll stand behind you.
How's it feel on this side of the
I know.
camera?
Yeah.
Different experience.
Time to get even.
All right, best smiles, here we go.
Let me fix my hair.
I know that one.
Yeah.
I think my hair is out of place.
All right.
Thank you.
Congrats again.
Congrats
Thank
again,
you,
man. That's
thank you
awesome.
very much. Nice job, thank you.
So is there like an international rodeo?
This is considered it.
Oh, this is the international.
Yeah, the one that Todd competed with is the International Rodeo.
So they have different names, it's weird. So the AFTA one, they call the International Rodeo. This one, they call the National, same thing.
Okay, it is the international.
Right.
Cool, well, congrats, that's really neat. We'll move on then to item number 10, consideration of the 2020 budget proposal and tax levy.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. It is budget time again. Feels like we just got through the audit and now it's time for budget. So basically the 2020 budget, overall, we did decrease the operations budget by a little bit, but we are requesting that the levy remain the same so that we can put some money aside for future capital. Again, in a few years, we are going to have some big ticket items that we're going to have to think about. So it's just good to kind of keep that levy consistent, and then we can kind of tuck those funds aside for when we're going to need them here in a little bit. So basically, there's really no changes to the service or to staffing levels other than the approved, the contract amounts that were approved for the union agreements. So it's a 2.5% increase effective October 1, and then non-union employees got the same COLA increase. As a 4% increase in the pension. That's a required amount that had to go up. And there was a, I think it's like a 4% or for the insurance per employee per week was kind of the biggest biggest ticket items that we had, changes for the budget. So just looking for approval on the preliminary budget and levy.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
I think it's a good idea that if we don't need it all, that's fine. I don't like this up and down stuff. Especially if you go down this year, then you raise it 6% next year instead of 2%. You know, so.
For example,
We're
this
never
year-
going to raise the levy, so that's fine.
There you go. I agree. I had a quick comment too, Dave.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I think it's a good idea we take that and put it, the excess away. And I learned from 20 years ago, City of Sauk Rapids, not to pick on them, but we had HVAC system that would go down all the time, $50,000. And I remember we had to levy for that one year. We didn't have money in our capital improvement fund. And I know we have over 2.2 million there now. And we have all newer buildings, but just this year, I mean, we have some things we have to replace at the fire department already. You don't think it's that old, but in the last 15 or 20 years, and if you don't budget for it, you have to levy for it. So I like that idea. Thanks. Thank you for the 5-year capital plan too, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's a good job putting all that together. It's challenging financial, and having all of that, keeping that levy flat, I think is important for all of our communities to keep that focus, despite, ridership changes and all those other issues you got to deal with, and state and federal funding, which is good, so. Seeing any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Proposal is adopted. Resolution setting the preliminary levy and taxable property. Separate resolution?
Yeah, separate resolution that we have to.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It carries, it's adopted. Move on to the award of radio equipment purchase and installation, resolution 2019-04.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, before you is a resolution for the purchase and installation of the Armor radios. Metrobus, in 2014, we started the process of joining the Armor system. We're actually sponsored by the City of St. Cloud. Our first part of that purchase was we purchased radios for our North Star fleet to get them on the Armor system. Then we began the process of finding a funding source to complete the rest of the fleet. So I'm here today to say we have the funding source. It is in our capital improvement budget for this year. And we received, for the labor portion, we received 3 quotes. So we're going with the low quote on that one from DTM Services for $15,070.75. And for the radio portion, we received 2 quotes. The most qualified quote was from Motorola Solutions for $313,591.42. So we're asking for award of those two vendors for this project.
And you have money in the budget?
We have $500,000 in the budget.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and second, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, that's adopted. Department updates.
All right, well, I'll just continue on. In addition to the radio project that you just heard, we got a lot of other projects going on in our IT department. So the first thing I'd like to say is about a month ago, we hired Ken Campbell. Ken is our IT specialist. So he filled a position that we had open. Ken's been doing an awesome job. So Ken's been on board with us just a little over a month now. So
Welcome.
I'd like to say welcome to Ken. Some of the other projects that we got going on, we're in the middle of 2 software projects, as you may be aware of. Our first project, what we are calling phase 1, we actually split that into 2 parts. The first part we did our FX Blockbuster software, which really short version is it does the scheduling of the service we have on the street. It allows us to build bids and stuff. That project is actually complete. So part 1 of phase 1 is complete. Part 2 of phase 1 is our ops software, our time tracking software, and integration into our existing scheduling software. We're really close to being completed on that. We're actually in the user acceptance testing phase of that right now, so we're just testing it, make sure everything's working well. Assuming we don't find any unexpected issues, we should probably be going live on that probably late summer, early fall, so we're really close to finishing on that project. We're pretty excited about that. Our second phase is our ERP software, or our enterprise resource planning. That's pretty much everything else that we have, our finance, maintenance, human resources, asset management, grant tracking, pretty much everything else we do. Up until this point, we've had at least 4 major and a lot of spreadsheets on the side. Systems, those systems don't talk to each other, so we're actually implementing one system that will take care of everything. So if we make a purchase, it's automatically tied into finance, where today we got a lot of redundancy where I have to enter it into one system, then I have to enter it into another system, and then maybe track a spreadsheet on the side. So that's all gonna go away. We've completed our discovery phase on that, and we've actually begun some data conversion from both our finance and our maintenance software. And we had, the vendor was actually on site last week to begin a little bit of training for us. We hope to go live with our finance and maintenance software August is our goal on that one. And that would just be the first section. Then we would do like HR and stuff like that separate, but we're coming along nicely on that project. A couple other things that we've been doing is we recently replaced a server that reached just end of useful life. Luckily for us, that server began to have problems, but we had already purchased the new one, so we had to just roll it over. So we ended up with a couple of weeks of headaches, but that's been solved for us now with the new server. And we got another big project that'll be coming up later this year. You'll be hearing more about it. We're going to begin the process of looking at replacing our fare boxes in our fleet. In addition to that, we're going to look at other media types. Do we go with magnetic media? Do we go with smart card media? Do we go with mobile ticketing, something on a phone? We don't know yet, but as we get that RFP rolled out on the street, we'll have more details on what's the technology that's out there today. So we're actually pretty excited about that. That's actually going to be a 2-year project. We have some money in this year's budget and then additional money in next year's budget. So we'll start it like towards the end of this year and then roll it into next year so we can use the rest of the funding for next year's budget on that. With that, that's kind of a snapshot of what we got going in our department. Are there any questions?
Questions from everybody? No?
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
You didn't need your file.
I'm sorry?
You didn't need your file.
No, I didn't. I said I read my file, and you won't ask any questions. If I don't bring the file, then I'm gonna go, yeah, I'll have to get back to you.
Thanks. Any other
Yeah,
updates?
just have two
Sure.
quick questions and one question, one update. In preparation for 2026, in preparation for our 50th anniversary scheduled for October 26, 2019, we have the bus that's outside, so if we haven't done so already, take a look at the flagship bus that we have wrapped outside. That's kind of our 50-year celebration bus. We have one side wrapped with the fleet of Metro bus, and then the other side is wrapped with the cities that we represent: Salt Rapids, Wake Park, St. Cloud, and Sawtell. Sawtell not here, but all the cities that we represent. In addition to that, we were wondering if the mayors of the cities that you represent, if you'll be interested in giving us a proclamation at the actual day of the event. Is that something that, I don't know if you guys do that in your individual cities, like for special events, you give a proclamation? I know Mayor Kleis, you have done
Yeah, we
so.
do. I mean, we do that for certain events.
Okay.
I don't know if it rises to that level, but.
Yeah, I don't either. Maybe my assistant.
Just kidding.
Maybe my assistant. Or my assistant secretary or something.
Yeah, we can give you 30 seconds of the day. We would be honored. Your city has that opportunity.
Yeah. Okay, so is this something that we should draft, or your individual departments will
You can draft it.
Yeah, it'll be nicer.
Otherwise, you won't want to hear it.
No, if you wanted to, keep consistent, that'd probably be good.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And then related to the program, as we get closer to the date, we'll give you the update on program of events and how October 26th will lay out. Right now, we have an internal planning committee. We're hands-off, so we give it to the employees to plan the day for us. This is the Metrobus employee event, and we want the employees to take ownership in that event. 50 years of service to the community, but also we have 50 years of employees throughout the years. Not that we have somebody here for 50 years, but we have people who've been close enough to 50 years that are actually part of this committee. So we're excited for the feedback that we get, when we have our updates, once every 2 weeks on how the planning is progressing. So we're really excited about that. So once we get everything finalized, we'll have the committee actually do a presentation to the board and let you know the day of events on October 26th.
That's good. Do you want to do you guys want to do like a joint proclamation?
I think we could.
And then
I don't know why.
Then we can
forgot
just
that.
pass it to all three.
Yeah.
We'll do something like that, yeah.
Okay, so this one.
Yeah,
You could do one and we
Okay.
could
We can all sign it.
read it.
Yeah,
and all-
well, yeah.
And then, and all sign it. you know.
Okay. Perfect. It sounds like 4 signatures for the 4 mayors.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Make it easier for you.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, that's all I have. Thank you.
All right.
All right, so any other business before us? Seeing none, then get a motion
To adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed, that carries. We're adjourned 20 after.